Hello, my dear friends. I've spent over 30 years as a physician helping wonderful people like you live healthier, happier lives as we age. Today, I want to share something incredibly important with you, something that could change the way you think about the food on your plate and, more importantly, how it affects your health and the health of those you love. So grab a comfy seat, maybe a warm drink, and let's talk about a topic that's close to my heart: the fish you shouldn't be eating, and why it matters so much for those of us over 60. Picture this: you're sitting down to a beautiful dinner. The table is set, the aroma of grilled fish fills the air, and you're feeling good about choosing something healthy. Fish is supposed to be good for you, right? We've all heard it: omega-3s for your heart, protein for your muscles, nutrients for your brain. And most of the time, that's true. But here's the twist. Some fish, even the ones that seem like the healthiest choices, could be quietly harming your body. They could be affecting your memory, your energy, even your heart, without you ever suspecting a thing. And as we age, our bodies become a little more vulnerable, so these hidden dangers hit us harder. Now, don't worry, I'm not here to scare you or take away your favorite foods. I'm here to guide you, like a trusted friend, toward choices that keep you feeling strong, sharp, and full of life. In this video, we're going to explore 6 types of fish that older adults should avoid at all costs, based on the latest health research and my own experience as a doctor. Some of these might surprise you. They're probably in your fridge, on restaurant menus, or even part of family traditions. But by the end, you'll know exactly what to steer clear of, why it matters, and most importantly, delicious, safe alternatives you can enjoy without worry. So, why should you keep watching? Because this isn't just about fish. It's about protecting your future, your vitality, and the moments you cherish with your loved ones. Whether you're here for yourself, your spouse, your parents, or your friends, this knowledge could make a real difference. Let's dive in together, and I promise to make this journey informative, empowering, and even a little fun. Ready? Let's get started. Before we begin, I'd love to hear from you. If you're here because you care about your health or someone else's, drop a quick comment below that says, "I'm here." It lets me know this message is reaching the right people. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. Every day, we share practical, life-changing advice to help you age with wisdom, strength, and joy. Now, let's talk about those 6 fish you need to watch out for. As a doctor, I've seen how small choices can have a big impact on our health, especially as we get older. When we're young, our bodies are like superheroes. They can handle a lot, from late-night snacks to the occasional environmental toxin. But as we cross into our 60s, 70s, and beyond, things change. Our immune system slows down a bit, our liver and kidneys work a little harder, and our bodies don't flush out harmful substances as easily. That's perfectly normal. It's part of aging. But it also means we need to be more thoughtful about what we put into our bodies, especially when it comes to seafood. Fish is often called a superfood, and for good reason. It's packed with protein, healthy fats like omega-3s, and nutrients that support our hearts, brains, and muscles. But not all fish are created equal. Some carry hidden risks, things like mercury, harmful chemicals, or bacteria that can build up in our bodies over time. For seniors, these risks aren't just minor inconveniences. They can lead to serious issues like memory problems, nerve damage, or even heart strain. And the tricky part: these dangers are often hiding in fish we think are healthy, fish we see on menus in grocery stores, or even in our favorite recipes. I remember a patient of mine, Margaret, a vibrant 68-year-old who loved her weekly fish dinners. She'd grill a beautiful piece of fish, season it with herbs, and feel good about her heart-healthy choice. But over time, she started noticing she was more forgetful. Her hands trembled slightly, and she felt unusually tired. At first, she thought, well, I'm just getting older. But when we looked closer, we realized the fish she was eating was high in mercury, and it was taking a toll on her body. Once we made some simple swaps to safer fish, her energy came back, and she felt sharper. That's the power of knowledge, my friends. Small changes can make a big difference. So today we're going to walk through 6 fish that can be risky for older adults. These aren't guesses or opinions. They're based on decades of research, real patient stories, and recommendations from nutrition experts. We'll also talk about safer, delicious alternatives so you can keep enjoying seafood without worry. Let's start with the first fish on our list. Let's begin with king mackerel, a fish that's often praised for its rich, bold flavor. Maybe you've had it at a family barbecue, grilled to perfection with a squeeze of lemon. It's a favorite for many, especially in coastal areas, and it's easy to see why. It's meaty, satisfying, and feels like a treat. But here's the catch. King mackerel is one of the worst offenders when it comes to mercury, a heavy metal that can quietly harm your body, especially as you age. Mercury is a toxin that occurs naturally in the environment, but it also comes from industrial pollution. It ends up in our oceans, where fish absorb it from the water and their food. Larger, longer-living fish like king mackerel accumulate more mercury over time because they're high up in the food chain. When we eat these fish, that mercury enters our bodies, and for older adults, it's harder to get rid of. Now, let me explain why this matters. Mercury doesn't just pass through your system. It can build up in your brain, nervous system, and kidneys. In small amounts, the younger body might handle it. But as we age, our organs aren't as efficient at clearing toxins. Over time, mercury can lead to memory problems, forgetting names, appointments, or where you park the car, nerve damage, tingling in your hands or feet, tremors, or trouble with balance, heart strain. Mercury can increase blood pressure and stress your cardiovascular system. I had a patient, George, a 72-year-old retired teacher who loved king mackerel. Every Sunday, he'd fire up the grill and cook it for his family. He thought he was doing something good for his heart and brain. But over the years, he started noticing he was more forgetful, and his hands shook when he tried to write. When we tested his mercury levels, they were higher than they should be. Switching to safer fish made a noticeable difference for him, and he was able to enjoy his meals without worry. Here's where things get tricky. King mackerel sounds similar to Atlantic mackerel, but they're very different. Atlantic mackerel is a smaller fish, lower in mercury, and packed with healthy omega-3s. It's a great choice for seniors. King mackerel, on the other hand, is a health trap in disguise. It's often sold as a premium fish, but its mercury levels make it risky, especially if you eat it regularly. The good news? You don't have to give up fish to stay safe. Try these alternatives. Wild-caught salmon, rich in omega-3s, low in mercury, and great for your heart and brain. Sardines, affordable, nutrient-packed, and low in toxins. They're perfect for a quick meal. Atlantic mackerel, a safer cousin of king mackerel, with all the flavor and fewer risks. When you're at the grocery store or a restaurant, check the label or ask where the fish comes from. If it's king mackerel, politely pass and choose something safer. Your body will thank you. I know how hard it can be to change habits, especially when a food brings back memories. For me, king mackerel was a staple at family gatherings growing up. But learning about its risks made me rethink my choices, not out of fear, but out of love for my health and my family's well-being. It's about making small, smart swaps that let you enjoy food while protecting your future. Next up is tilefish, a fish you might not even realize you're eating. It often hides under vague menu descriptions like white fish or catch of the day. Maybe you're at a nice restaurant celebrating a birthday or anniversary, and you see a flaky white fish on the menu. It sounds light and healthy, so you order it thinking you're making a good choice. But if that fish is tilefish, especially from the Gulf of Mexico, it's one of the riskiest choices for seniors. Tilefish, particularly from the Gulf, has some of the highest mercury levels of any fish, higher even than king mackerel. This makes it a serious concern for older adults. Mercury can affect your neurological health, leading to confusion and memory loss, forgetting conversations or struggling to focus, balance issues, feeling unsteady or having trouble walking, mood changes, feeling unusually irritable or down. For seniors, these symptoms can mimic normal aging or even early dementia, which is why it's so important to catch the source early. I've seen patients who thought their memory lapses were just part of getting older, only to find out their diet was playing a role. Tilefish is often marketed as a premium option, with a higher price tag and a fancy presentation. But expensive doesn't mean healthy. In fact, it's the opposite here. And because it's often served in restaurants, you might not even know you're eating it unless you ask. When dining out, don't be shy. Ask your server what kind of fish is being served. If they say tilefish, choose something else. Here are some safe, delicious alternatives. Cod mild, flaky, and low in mercury. It's easy to digest and great for seniors. Haddock. Another white fish that's gentle on the stomach and safe for regular eating. Flounder. Light and versatile, with minimal toxin risks. If you're cooking at home, check the label or ask your fishmonger where the fish comes from. Avoiding tilefish is a simple way to protect your brain and nervous system. I'll never forget a patient named Ruth, a 70-year-old grandmother who loved dining out with her family. She'd often order the catch of the day because it sounded fresh and healthy. But she started noticing numbness in her fingers and trouble remembering her grandchildren's names. After some tests, we found elevated mercury levels, likely from eating tilefish at restaurants. Once she switched to safer fish like cod, her symptoms improved, and she felt like herself again. It was a reminder that knowledge is power. Knowing what to avoid can truly change your life. Now let's talk about swordfish, a fish that carries a certain elegance. Maybe you've had it on a cruise or at a fancy dinner, grilled to perfection with a buttery sauce. It feels like a special treat, something you might order to celebrate a milestone. But beneath its luxurious reputation, swordfish hides serious risks for older adults. Swordfish is one of the largest, longest living fish in the ocean. Because it's a predator, it eats smaller fish that have already absorbed mercury, so it accumulates high levels over time. When you eat swordfish, that mercury enters your body, and for seniors, it can linger, causing cognitive decline, trouble thinking clearly or remembering details, tremors, shaking hands, or difficulty with fine motor skills, kidney strain. Mercury can stress your kidneys, especially if you have existing health issues. Many people assume that cooking fish thoroughly removes toxins, but mercury doesn't work that way. You can't grill, bake, or boil it out. It stays in the fish. For older adults, even occasional servings of swordfish can add up over time, especially if you have high blood pressure, kidney issues, or neurological concerns. If you love the rich, meaty texture of swordfish, try these safer options. Rainbow trout, flaky, mild, and low in mercury, with plenty of healthy fats. Pollock, versatile and safe, perfect for grilling or baking. Wild-caught salmon, a nutrient powerhouse that's gentle on aging bodies. These fish give you the flavor and satisfaction you're looking for without the hidden risks. As a doctor, I've learned that food is more than just fuel. It's tied to memories, traditions, and joy. Swordfish was a favorite at my family's holiday dinners, and giving it up wasn't easy. But when I saw how much better my patients felt after making smarter choices, I realized it was worth it. It's not about sacrifice. It's about choosing foods that love you back. Next up is ahi tuna, also known as Bigeye tuna, a favorite on sushi menus and upscale seafood platters. Sushi nights have become popular for all ages, and it's easy to see why. Those vibrant slices of deep red tuna look fresh, modern, and healthy. But for older adults, ahi tuna can pose a double threat: mercury and bacterial risks. Like swordfish, Bigeye tuna is a large, long-living fish high in the food chain, so it accumulates significant mercury. This can lead to neurological issues, memory problems, and nerve damage, especially in seniors whose bodies are less efficient at clearing toxins. But there's another risk with ahi tuna. It's often eaten raw in sushi or seared dishes. When you're younger, your immune system can handle the occasional bacteria or parasite in raw fish. But as we age, our immune defenses weaken, making us more vulnerable to salmonella can cause severe stomach issues or even hospitalization. Listeria, particularly dangerous for seniors, as it can lead to serious infections. Parasites, harder for an older body to fight off, potentially causing long-term health issues. I've seen patients like Harold, a 65-year-old who loved his weekly sushi nights. He started experiencing fatigue and digestive problems, which we traced back to raw ahi tuna. Switching to cooked, low-mercury fish helped him feel better and enjoy his meals safely. Not all tuna is the same. Bigeye and albacore tuna are high in mercury, often found in sushi or premium steaks. Skipjack tuna, labeled as light tuna in cans, is much safer, lower in mercury, and budget-friendly. If you love tuna, stick to canned light tuna. Limit it to 2 servings per week, and opt for cooked over raw whenever possible. If sushi is your thing, you don't have to give it up. Try these safer options. Cooked shrimp, sweet, tender, and low in toxins. Crab, mild and safe, especially when cooked. Salmon, wild-caught. Look for cooked salmon rolls for a healthy, low-risk option. When dining out, ask if the tuna is Bigeye or skipjack, and choose cooked dishes to reduce bacterial risks. Food is a celebration, and sushi nights can be a joy at any age. But as we get older, we need to be a little more careful. Choosing safer fish lets you enjoy those moments without putting your health at risk. It's about savoring life, not stressing over it. Now let's talk about farmed salmon, a fish that's incredibly popular but often misunderstood. You've probably seen it in the grocery store, those vibrant pink fillets, often priced lower than other seafood. It looks healthy, and we've all heard that salmon is packed with omega-3s. But here's the truth. Not all salmon is created equal, and farmed salmon can carry risks that outweigh its benefits, especially for seniors. Farmed salmon is raised in crowded underwater pens, where thousands of fish swim in tight spaces. To keep them healthy, farmers often use antibiotics to prevent disease, but these can contribute to antibiotic resistance. Chemical colorants to make the flesh pink, as farmed salmon would otherwise be gray. Contaminated feed often contains PCBs and dioxins, toxic chemicals linked to cancer, hormone disruption, and immune system damage. For older adults, these chemicals can trigger inflammation, worsen arthritis, and strain the heart. I've seen patients who thought they were eating healthy by choosing salmon, only to find their joint pain or fatigue was linked to these hidden toxins. Wild-caught Alaskan salmon is a much better choice. It's caught in pristine waters, free from antibiotics and chemicals, and naturally rich in omega-3s. Yes, it's a bit more expensive, but think of it as an investment in your health. When shopping, look for labels that say wild-caught or Alaskan salmon. Avoid anything labeled farmed or Atlantic salmon, as most Atlantic salmon is farmed. If you're dining out, ask where the salmon comes from. It's your right to know. One of my patients, Clara, a 74-year-old artist, loved salmon for its heart-healthy benefits. But she was buying farmed salmon because it was cheaper. She started experiencing more joint pain and fatigue, which we linked to the chemicals in her fish. Switching to wild-caught salmon not only improved her symptoms, but also gave her more energy to paint. It was a small change with a big impact. Finally, let's talk about imported catfish, a fish that's near and dear to many hearts. For some of us, catfish is more than food. It's a taste of home, fried up crispy and golden, served with love at family gatherings. But if that catfish is imported, it could be hiding risks that are especially dangerous for seniors. Much of the catfish sold in the U.S. comes from unregulated fish farms in Asia, where poor sanitation and questionable practices are common. These farms often use antibiotics. Many are banned in the U.S. due to links to antibiotic resistance. Chemicals to control disease and parasites, adding to the toxin load. Contaminated water can introduce bacteria that an older immune system struggles to fight. For seniors, these risks can lead to serious infections, digestive issues, or even hospitalization. A mild stomach bug in a younger person can be much more severe in someone over 65. If you love catfish, choose U.S. farm varieties. American fish farms follow stricter regulations with cleaner water and safer feed. Always cook catfish thoroughly to reduce bacterial risks, especially if you have digestive or immune challenges. Catfish was a staple in my grandmother's kitchen, and I know how hard it is to let go of traditions. But when I learn about the risks of imported catfish, I help my family switch to U.S. farmed options. We still enjoy those crispy, comforting meals, but now we do it with peace of mind. Now that we've covered the 6 fish to avoid, king mackerel, tilefish, swordfish, tuna, farmed salmon, and imported catfish, let's step back and reflect. This isn't just about avoiding certain foods. It's about taking control of your health, one meal at a time. As we age, our bodies need a little extra care, and that starts with what we put on our plates. Every bite you take is a choice, an opportunity to nourish your body or unintentionally to harm it. The fish we've talked about today may seem innocent, but their hidden toxins can add up, especially when your body is more sensitive. By choosing safer options, you're protecting your brain, keeping your memory sharp and your thoughts clear. Heart, reducing strain and supporting healthy blood pressure. Immune system, helping your body fight off infections more effectively. Here are some practical tips to guide you. Read labels, look for wild-caught or U.S. farmed on seafood packaging. Ask questions. When dining out, ask where the fish comes from and how it's prepared. Choose low-mercury fish. Stick to salmon, sardines, cod, haddock, or skipjack tuna. Cook thoroughly, especially for seniors. Cooking fish reduces bacterial risks. Portion wisely. Even safe fish should be eaten in moderation, about 2 servings per week. Tonight, take a moment to check your fridge or pantry. See what's there. Read the labels. Think about what you've learned today and take one small step toward a safer choice. Maybe it's swapping out that farmed salmon for wild-caught. Maybe it's trying sardines for the first time. Or maybe it's just having a conversation with your family about eating smarter. I'd love to hear from you. In the comments below, share your story. Have you or a loved one eaten these risky fish without knowing? What's your favorite safe fish to cook? Your experiences inspire others, and together we can build a community of wisdom and care. The biggest lesson here is simple. Knowledge is power. By understanding what's in your food, you're not just eating, you're choosing health, vitality, and more moments with the people you love. Aging is a gift, and every choice you make helps you embrace it fully. You don't have to be perfect, just intentional. One small change today can lead to years of feeling stronger, sharper, and more alive. Thank you for joining me today. If this video helped you, please give it a thumbs up and share it with someone who needs to hear this. Subscribe to the channel for more practical advice on aging well. From nutrition to mental health to small lifestyle tweaks, we're here for you every day. Stay wise, stay healthy, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care, my friend, and be well.